Hello everyone, welcome to the Emerson Hexcores first game of the season against the Camden County Cougars here in PlayVS. We're going to be starting up here soon. We're working on getting into draft. While we wait, we can talk a bit about the Hexcores, as a whole, coming off the end of the season, a bitter loss in playoffs last season after another strong regular season. This semester, we've got the core 5 roster staying with us. We've got EC the Young playing top lane, EC Skiztastic playing jungle, EC Mookie playing mid lane, EC Dying Inside as bot, and Brat as our support. So mostly the same 5 players from last season. EC Young switching in for top lane. And we're just waiting for draft. One second, let's get the draft pulled up. And just like that, here, teams just doing their ready checks. So this is, according to PlayVS, will be using Fearless Draft, meaning that once a champion is picked in the series, it's a best of 3 series, it will be automatically banned for all the future games in the series. So I wonder how that will affect Hexcore's drafting strategy for this game. It's worth mentioning Hexcores now are going to be playing in a division up from the last semester's division, now playing in the Emerald 1 and below division of PlayVS. This is the second straight divisional promotion that the Hexcores have taken part in. Yes, let's go Emerson. Again, just waiting for teams to ready check for draft, and then we'll be good to go.
Team. Great draft.
Looks like we might be having a bit of technical difficulties with the draft. The simulators that we use to keep track of the Fearless tend to have a bit of trouble sometimes, so just please ask for patience. I know I'm eager to get into this game. We've had a lot of practices, over break and at the start of the semester. And finally, it's time to hop into the game and start this season off. Hexcore is obviously looking to start with a strong showing here, is what we're hoping for. Looks like we might be switching drafts. 1 second. Got a new link. Looks like Emerson Hexcores is going to be on red side to start this draft up. which means that they will have counter pick. So Camden County Cougars will get first selection. Hexcores will get the final counter pick. Usually that goes towards the top lane. That's the lane where matchups tend to have the most sway on direct lane dominance. They're really just trying to build up the suspense right now as we wait to get into this draft. A couple more minutes. There's not much to analyze yet. I know we'll have some downtime before we get in the game, but at least then we can discuss the draft. We can discuss how these teams by comp are going to look to play out the game. Switch drafters one more time. I can't tell if Emerson College is going to be blue or red side. Looks like we are going to be blue side. As the links switch up, so do the side selection. We are still waiting for drafters. Technical difficulty plaguing the start of this series. I'm working here to get a feel for what's going on right now. I will keep you all posted as soon as I get an update about the status. Looks like we're just having some draft link issues. We're going to switch it up one more time. You know what they say, fourth time's the charm, and this is the fourth link I think we've been sent here. Looks like Emerson College is readied up, so maybe might be closer than we have been. And there goes Camden, and we're off into the draft. So, as the dust settles, Emerson College is red side for game 1, means they get the counter pick, the ever important counter pick. And we'll see how Camden utilizes that first pick, if there are any denial champions that they're looking to take away from our Hexcores. First ban that comes through is going to be the Braum for Camden, looking to target Brat just a little bit here early on in rotation. Braum, a really strong disengage kind of pick. You have that very strong team fighting ultimate as well as very strong laning phase. Tristana, banned by Emerson College, taking away one of those ADC picks. Not the strongest pick in the meta recently, but certainly can snowball the leads with the tower taking ability. Talia banned. Now this, could be Hexcores Talia Flex, both EC Skiztastic and EC Mookie playing it recently in solo queue. A really good ban, especially, if you want those dashing champions. The global ultimate obviously so powerful in this side laning heavy meta game. Alawi, the second ban. Really strong laning phase. Sort of trying to protect EC Young up there in the top lane, who is no stranger to sort of brawling it out with the opponents. And the final ban is Yunara from Camden County. Bans pretty well spread out from both teams so far. Looks like no one's targeting down any one particular player. Just taking away those kind of specialty champions on both sides. The Kazakhs ban gonna come through, looking to protect the side lane, maybe even more. Alright, so we have Nautilus first pick. First picking support. Looking to get that engage that Nautilus offers, that point and click CC, obviously very strong. See how Emerson College wants to respond to that. Here we have the Zaya first pick, a safe ADC to kind of go into that Nautilus. You obviously have the ultimate to pull back the feathers with the E. Ultimate can cancel that Nautilus ult as you see it charging up, the depth charge coming your way. Paired with the Nico, likely a Nico support, though could technically be a flex pick. Very strong team fighting ultimate there. Very strong if Camden's looking to engage. You click the Nico R and kind of shut all of that down. Force them to back out of the Pop Blossom. Hovering and selecting Wukong, another team fight, engagey style champion for the Cougars. Let's see what they round out on pick 3. It's going to be the Kaisa. I'm not going to say anything about it yet. Okay, there it is, locked in. Looking like a very strong dive comp being drafted by the Camden County Cougars right now. You have the Nautilus, the Wukong, to apply that first bit of CC, and then Kaisa can come in flying over the top with the Killer Instinct. So Emerson College going to have to try and counter with some disengage the Jax. Jax technically could be a flex pick. Could be taken either to top lane or to the jungle. I wonder how EC Skiztastic likes that matchup into the Wukong. Just as a reminder, all of these champions will not be able to be played in games 2 and 3 of this series if we go to a game 3, but at least game 2, using fearless draft rules, means that we'll see more champion diversity. Warwick ban from Emerson College. I wonder if they're trying to figure out if the Wukong is maybe a top lane pick, or if they just don't like the matchup into Warwick top lane. Akali ban hits EC Mookie. A prolific Akali player Mookie is. Probably the best one on the team, though I know we have a couple. That Jax flex is doing a lot of work. It keeps that red 5 pick for Emerson College wide open. Gonna be the Malphite ban. Take away another of those engage options. Too much CC, there is such a thing. And it looks like Emerson isn't going to allow the Malphite. And And set is the final ban from the Cougars. Another target towards Young. So now we await Emerson College's 4th pick. They still need more disengaged tools to kind of weather the storm of this initial Camden County engage. They like the Anivia. Throw down that ultimate, control the zone, you have the stun, you have the wall, a lot of tools to kind of control the space. See if they can not even let the Wukong, let the Nautilus in the first place, is the idea with this pick. Again, we've got very strong engage from the Cougars, and the Hexcores, on the other hand, looking to just deny all that they can. It's going to be the Galio into the Anivia. Obviously a strong tank, strong front line. I worry a little bit about Camden County's damage right now with just mainly the Kaisa. Gonna need some sort of damaging top laner, I would think. Galio can, of course, build AP, but is mainly known for being that anti-magic tank. It's going to be the Tom Kench top lane, so it looks like it is going to be the Wukong jungle. Tom Kench, one of those heavy sustained top laners with the tongue lash. We're going to have to see how Young manages that, dodges away from that skill shot. It's going to be the Mordekaiser, another AP source into the Galio. I worry about that a little bit for the Hexcores. I wonder how they're going to get through this front line. But again, kind of Galio, Tom Kench, more engage options for Camden. You have the Wukong flying in with the Kaisa, with the Galio. It's a deadly onslaught. The Mordekaiser, of course, offers the opportunity to pull one of those champions out of the fight entirely, almost negating them from the team fight. But I wonder if the damage can already be done. You know, Galio ult comes down, he slams, knocks everyone up before the Mordekaiser can ult him. Same with Wukong. Of course, the invisibility gained on the W. As far as scaling goes, I think the scaling side likely favors Emerson College. Xayah obviously scales very well. Jax scales very well. Even Anivia and Mordekaiser offer very strong scaling options. Let's see if our teams are ready to get into game here. Looks like just doing the last couple of comments between the teams. Wonder what they think of these drafts. I think both comps here have a very strong draft identity. It's very clear, you know, Camden County wants to look for the strong engage and a very strong disengage core drafted by the Hexcores. It's just going to come down to which of these two teams can execute their game plan better. Oh, even more technical difficulties hitting the rift, as it seems neither team's able to start the game. In that case, let's take a look back at this draft and kind of think about how these lanes are going to go. You have Nautilus Kaisa into Xayah Nico in the bot lane. You know, Nautilus really kind of hinted at by the Braum ban. Braum, a classically good, strong pick into the Nautilus, because as soon as they hook in, you can just throw up the shield, throw down the stun, and negate a lot of the damage that they want to come through. trying to leave and rejoin. As for mid lane, Galio into Anivia, obviously a little rough for Galio as any ranged into melee matchup is. However, that Galio, once you start getting a couple items, start getting a couple of levels, it becomes really hard for Anivia to kind of turn that volume down.
Think carefully, my friend.
As we go ahead and remake the draft here in the client. I was just speaking about the Galio into Anivia matchup. The range advantage for Anivia is very strong in the early levels, but once the Galio gets enough levels, gets enough HP, enough MR to start trading with the Anivia in a more favorable matchup, it can be tricky. Has the side laning possibilities along with the ultimate. Allows him to quickly join any fight. In the top lane, we have Tahm Kench and Mordekaiser, both champions that are rather strong in the more extended fights. Mordekaiser obviously wants to stack up his passive and then stick on them with the sort of Rylai's build that's popular right now. Tahm Kench looking more to poke down with the Q, keep the stack, but even then gets the stacks up of the passive and then has the opportunity to use the ultimate, swallow the Mordekaiser. In this jungle matchup, I'm not very familiar with. I know Wukong is very reliant on that level 6. So is the Jax in many ways. I wonder if we'll see, the sort of standard power farming openings that's become so popular in this patch, in this season. We are playing on the new Demacia season, which means there are a couple of changes from last semester for those of you who are just now joining us. Otacon is gone. Otacon was removed from the game. The other major changes include tower plating being added to all towers, as well as a sort of damage over time stacking up on the towers. The Petrosite crystals stack up on the furthest out tower, and then one auto attack gives you a semi-demolish proc that does a large burst of damage. There are a couple of new items added to the game. Stormrazor for Xayah. Wonder if we'll see that not new item, returning item. Stormrazor. I wonder if we'll see that picked up. And now we wait, as we will have our spectator delay take over. We will have another 3 minutes to talk about the complexities of this draft. The other major addition of the new season are the role quests. So in this season, each role gets its own unique quest completed by killing minions, getting cat towers, and securing kills. The top lane role quest gives you an upgraded TP if you have it already, or just a third summoner spell, as long as a burst of XP and increased XP gain from all sources. The jungle quest is very similar to how it was in previous seasons. You gain increased gold from killing monsters, as well as increased movement speed. The mid lane quest, once completed, gives you the empowered Baron recall, as well as the tier 3 boots from the Noxus season. The bot lane quest grants increased gold, a burst of gold, as well as increased gold generation from killing minions and securing kills, as well as moving the boots item to a 7th item slot, allowing ADCs to build 6 full items in the late game on top of boots. Kind of uncaps that scaling element even further for them. And the support quest is similar to jungle, very similar to how last season's operated. It grants discounted control wards, as well as a new slot for the control wards, so they don't have to sit in your inventory, as well as the same support items from last season. And see, now we're just going to wait another 2 minutes before we get in the game as a spectator. I think this game is going to come down to team fights, is based on these comps. The Cougars obviously want to dive in and dive on top as a unit of 5 around these objectives. Emerson can play through those side lanes. They have a couple of side lane options with the Mordekaiser, with the Jax, if they want to invest resources into either of those, but they are almost as strong in the team fight. We need to keep an eye on that Pop Blossom from Nico, which can single-handedly win a team fight if it lands onto 3, even 4 people from the Cougars. Or if Brat can find the road, all 5, as we all hope for. Need to see what damage the Anivia can do in those extended fights as that ult sits there ticking on the ground. See if the wall can divide any of them. You know, that first line of engage, I fear Mookie's got to look to separate, you know, the Wukong from the rest of the team with that wall, with the Anivia W. If Wukong goes in with the clone, with the dash on the E, if you can drop the wall behind there, separate them and focus down one target before the rest can join. That's another option the Hexcores have here. I'll be interested to see how the Cougars choose to use this Tahm Kench ultimate. It does dual purpose as both a defensive and offensive tool. I wonder if they'll need to use it more on the offensive. I wonder if, you know, swallowing the Xayah, the Anivia, how much value they can get out of forcefully repositioning one of those members. But here we go, loading now into the game. Game 1 of this series, EC Hexcores versus Camden County Cougars. Game 1 of the Hexcores season. Let's see what kind of a start the Hexcores can bring to this new division, to this semi-new roster with Young subbing back in for top lane. As the teams roll out of base, another change of the new season. Minions and jungle monsters spawn much earlier than in the previous season, so we start to see less of these sort of level 1 invades. Just as I say it, the Cougars walking in to try and get down a Raptor's ward, some sort of vision on EC Skiztastic. Trading a bit of health, but nothing too much. Crucially, the ward does go down on the Raptor's pit, which gives the Cougars full information of Skiztastic's pathing this game. Bit of trading, bot side. And as you can see, minions already here as we get off to the start. Young taking aggressive trades early. This is what I was talking about with those long extended fights. Both passives set up, but Tahm Kench has Ignite. Is able to take that summoner spell because of the teleport flash forwards from both health bars blinking, but neither one will die. Flashes exchanged. But the Ignite also spent. Young opted into taking the TP, so that means he will have it earlier, has it now. Level 2 gank from Wukong comes into the top side. Juno going in, securing first blood for the Cougars. Young just playing a little too aggressive in that level 1 fight. Ends up paying for it. It does cost the Wukong a bit of tempo, though. Only cleared 1 camp so far. Young opting not to TP back, just going to walk to lane. You can see how the Anivia trades are really strong in the early game into the Galio just because of that range. Galio doesn't have many options to fire back. Hook goes into a minion. Lots of damage going down onto the Kaisa. Archie trading with his life. Feathers riddling this Nautilus. But besides that kill in the top lane, a relatively quiet first 2.5 minutes. Jax going for the full clear, Wukong skipping both the Gromp and the Wolves. And more trades going down onto Kaisa. And a kill for Xayah. Off of back of a really good Nico route through the minions. Finding those advantages. Both junglers in the bot side here. Looking to fight over this crab, but Hexcore's bot lane is taking a reset right now. Looks like Skiztastic will be able to steal that one away. Trading of mid waves here in the mid lane. Wave slowly building up for Young. Looks like he didn't lose too much for that death. Gonna have a bit of a level lead, likely to even out once this wave crashes. Mookie opted into taking Comet, which I find very interesting. Gets that bit of extra poke at the expense of some safety. Jack stepping over a ward. Cougars immediately respecting. I got baited by the Nico clone. That was brat. Skiztastic just taking a reset, going for that either top scuttle or second round of camps. Wukong steps on Vision into Hexcore's jungle, takes the reset now. But we can see already the CS lead that top gank caused. Skiztastic up 12 CS, gonna get a double scuttle crab here. Looks like Wukong maybe canceled his base. CS lead's also building in the mid lane as a part of that range into melee matchup that we were talking about so much during draft. CS relatively even around the rest of the board. All amounts to about a 300 gold lead for the Hexcores in the first 4.5 minutes. Nothing too substantial yet. Hook goes wide from It's Naughty Monkey. You can see the range benefit that the Hexcore's bot side has doing work here. Not much the Nautilus can do when the Nico's throwing roots, throwing Qs, just chipping away at that health bar. Part of what's set up for the dying inside kill that we saw earlier. First Drake spawns on the map. Wukong already in the vicinity. Skiztastic just clearing out those raptors. Mookie, very low on mana, taking the reset now, has the teleport up. Wukong steps on the ward. Hexcores know that he's here. Just hovering around that bot side, maybe trying to help them secure these minions under so much pressure from the ranged bot lane. From the combination of this Nico and this Xayah. Level 6 hit for Mookie and the Galio. Could be impactful in any potential Drake fight, but Camden County does have a control ward in the pit. Flash in from Skiztastic, finds the stun on the Nautilus, root comes through, pullback is good. You see Skiztastic secures a kill on the enemy support. Hexcores have numbers advantage if they want to go for the Drake, but instead just securing the push out, Skiztastic moves towards the Gromp. Heavy trades coming in the mid lane as Galio falls short on mana. Oh, screen froze for a second there, but we are back. That second kill, giving us 600, 700. Still, nothing too much. We need to see the Hexcores really try and push this small advantage so we can take a look at the items. It's going to be Caulfield's and Sheen Xayah into just the axe of the Kaisa. Small advantage in the bot side because of that kill. Catalyst of Aeons for the Anivia, looking towards that Rod of Ages. The Jax still up 18 CS, has a whole Caulfields over the Wukong, clearing out the vision in the Drake pit now. That control ward did so much work for the Cougars. Jax hovering around the Drake, all the Hexcores starting to move towards it, but we have a fight in the top side. Young gets swallowed, spit into tower, Ignite comes down, ticking away, and the final passive proc is enough to slay Young, but on the other side of the map, Hexcores secure the Infernal Dragon. So cross map and a solo kill going over to Sally, playing the Tahm Kench. Pushing that advantage already that we saw from the level 2 Wukong gank. Making up that gold deficit almost immediately. Xayah holding a bit of a freeze in the bot lane. Scuttle Crab in the top side going to Skiztastic. Galio's in the area, hovering over the wall. Skiztastic lets the Counter-Strike expire, then goes in for the trades. Fight breaking out here. Taunt comes down, the Anivia ult ticking in the center of the choke point. And Hexcores just retreat back to the Scuttle Crab. Void Grub's up as well if either team was able to get an advantage around this. Hook is flashed away from by the Hexcores. Cougars have more health, more mana, more resources, and they're going to secure the first 3 grubs. Really good roam to match by the Nautilus, or Brat's move from the bot lane. Xayah and Kai'Sa just sitting there trading away CS. Very even game state here as we get a fight in the bot side. Feather's Pull already used. Level up for dying inside. Barrier. Ult comes through. Ult traded. Flash is traded. But it's dying inside that comes out with the kill. Health at 1 HP. Both ADCs used all of their summoners. Very close fight and mounted to that level HP difference for dying inside, who now gets the shove out and the reset. Such an insanely close fight. But it's going to end up as another kill. Full Essence Reaver completed for the Xayah right now. This Xayah is going to be very accelerated, even though they're down about 4 CS. On the other sides of the map, CS lead brewing for Tahm Kench in the top lane. Matched by leads in jungle and mid for the Hexcores. I worry about the XP lead though. You get that quest, you get to start stacking it so quickly. Those XP leads can really start to spiral. We'll see what Young can get done on this top side of the map. Take a breather here as teams reset. Skiztastic taking it back while Wukong comes for a bit of a lane gank here on the bot side. There's no Xayah R, there's no Xayah flash. Nautilus ult comes out, rooted up, knocked up, and that's going to be a not a shutdown, but a double kill for the Cougars. One on Kai'Sa, one on Wukong. Ult's invested. Just as Drake is about to start coming up here soon. Plates going down for Mookie in the mid lane. Lot of solo time with these plates in the bot lane for Kai'Sa. Gromp's stolen away by EC Skiztastic. Still some push here in the top lane, but another ult comes from the Tahm Kench. Wonder if that Ignite is back up there. It is. Support and Jax moving up. There's going to be a fight. Mordekaiser ult comes down, but just backs up in that Death Realm. Hook lollipops onto the Mordekaiser. Separated a little bit. Stun comes through. It's a 3v2. Wukong's here to join. Galio's here to join. This is looking like could be a wipe for the Hexcores. Skiztastic in an ugly spot has to flash away. Good stun from Mookie. Keeps the Wukong from anything more. I see a minion running through my screen, but it's just Brat on the Nico. So again, we have advantages bot side for the Hexcores, mostly wiped out by that Wukong lane gank, matched by advantages in the top side. This Tahm Kench is going to be nigh unkillable here in the late game. Gold's still dead even. 12 minutes into this game. Jack spiking now, though, with Trinity Force completed. We'll see if the Wukong can match on this back. Has all the components already. There it is. Trinity Forces for both of these junglers. 3 kills on the Wukong, evening out that CS deficit. First items all around for the Hexcores. Galio's still waiting for a bit longer, taking a reset now for that hollow... Oh, for that first Bombies item. Hexcores gonna start up the Drake. They know all the ultimates are down. No Galio ultimate. The Wukong Cyclone was not used in the last fight. As they start up the Drake. Wukong's in the pit, but Skiztastic comes away with the smite fight. And Young disengages in the top lane. Not looking to take any fights with this already fed Tahm Kench. Even more plates going across to the Kai'Sa. The bot side tower is getting very low. Got an 800 gold lead for the Cougars. 2 Drakes for the Hexcores. Here comes the fight in the top side. Grasp E goes wide from the Mordekaiser, swallowed by the Tahm Kench. Flashes from the Tongue Lash. Nothing more will come of that. Mordekaiser just looking to neutralize this lane almost. Really has been stifled by that first level 2 gank. Hook goes wide, root onto the Kai'Sa. Just a bit of poke, nothing more for the Emerson bot lane. However, they have no wards, and the Wukong here is coming back up. Much respect paid. Simultaneously, a fight in the top side. Young takes him into the Death Realm, uses the W, gets the shield. It's going to be very close here, but there's the Ignite. Another Tongue Lash goes wide, and that's going to seal it. A solo kill for EC the Young in a very tough matchup. Behind a couple of kills, manages to sidestep a couple key Tongue Lashes and gets away with his life. Resets from both ADCs. Looks like Kai'Sa on the pickaxe, while Xayah is stuck with the crit cloak. Slight leads for the Kai'Sa, building towards that second item. Gank in the mid lane, but Archie's there to match. Big Roots, Cyclone, kited away from. Oh, so much damage on that Wukong Q. Manages to secure the kill on Brat. This Wukong is very fed, has so much damage. And that ultimate always a teamfight threat. First tower is going to be broken by the Kai'Sa on the bot lane. Large gold injection. Takes the Cougars to about a 1.5k gold lead here, 15 minutes into the game. As they start up the Herald. Skiztastic on the bot side, fishing for the Kai'Sa. Lands the stun. Heavy damage coming in, barrier used. And kited away from. At the end of the day, Jags are for Kai'Sa barrier. As they look to maybe set up a dive, trying to cross-map that Herald take from the Cougars. But Kai'Sa's back is not cancelled. Tahm Kench dives away. EC Mookie taking advantage of the brief gap in tempo when Galio was stuck in mid lane to start hitting that bot tower. Gets a couple of plates for himself. God, these Nico roots have been on point, but it's traded back with the hook from Nautilus. So much damage coming out. Ult invested from the Kai'Sa, flashes from both ADCs. Skiztastic coming in, TP coming in from Mookie, but the Kai'Sa lives. Kai'Sa goes down from that 1 HP. Galio's here now too. Hook goes wide. Taunt comes in from the Galio as both teams start to kite out. Ends up as a 1-0 for the Hexcores. Rift Herald invested in the mid lane, going to knock down a couple of plates. Archie goes for the re-engage with the ult. Skiztastic on top. Oh, Wukong finds the Kai'Sa in the back, but trades his life for it. Lots of damage coming through onto Skiztastic. Mookie doing so much work in the backside. Stun comes through. Simultaneously, a fight in the top side as Young uses the shield, gets hit with the Tongue Lash. Both top laners on 1 HP. After the madness that just happened in the mid lane, but it was ultimately winning for the Hexcores, who now are equalized the gold deficit and have found themselves up almost 1,000 gold. In that fight, we saw these comps really playing out both of their identities. The Cougars go in, invest all their ultimates, all their CC, and then Brat finds a wonderful re-engage with the Nico ultimate. Skistastic with the counter-strike on top of it is able to turn it back around. Juno on the Wukong able to find dying inside. On the backside of the team fight, though, goes down and lives on 1 HP before getting taken out. Just really balancing on a knife's edge are these two teams. Seeing fights like that, just how close this battle is going to be. Mountain Drake spawning in 8 seconds would put the Hexcores on soul point, but they have conceded some space here as the Wukong and Nautilus duo moves in to clear out the vision. Mordekaiser moving to this bot side, no TP yet. Really dropping that top tower to try and fight for this Drake. They really want to put on the pressure of Soul Point sitting on the control ward now. So we have a full-on team fight about to break out. Tom Kench moving down from the top lane too, not interested in hitting that tower, not interested in sign lading. It's all about this Drake right now. Wall comes down as some pit vision is cleared out. Tom Kench on the flank. Ebb and flow here. Hexcores looking to turn onto the Tom Kench. Gets in range of the counter-strike. Takes a couple of autos. Throws down the ult. But it's going to be a quick... I say that, but he just manages to make it out. Flash in from the Young. But they trade for Drake for the kill on the Tom Kench. Brat looks for the Pot Blossom. Finds 2. Root comes down. Also hits 2. Ult from the Jax comes out. Ults from Wukong. Ults from Galio. Layering on top. The carries for the Hexcores are untouched right now. Wukong now on the back line, hitting the Kaisa, but doesn't have the damage. Great taunt from the Galio, not enough to keep the Wukong alive. And it's going to be an ace for your Emerson Hexcores, a 5 for 3. Incredibly worth it for the Hexcores. So they don't get the Drake. EC Mookie was really just untouched in that fight, able to throw down the ultimate and keep throwing out those E's, those stuns. So much value from the Anivia pick. Really just keeping alive on the backline. Still had the passive up, so even if you ended up going down, he'd have that egg to come back for the revive. Brings the Hexcores to almost a 2k gold lead. All is quiet on the map now. Brat a little caught here as he was trying to get vision. Poked by the Nautilus, but and able to use that shape splitter to just kite out. Clearing waves, clearing camps right now are both teams. Baron the only objective on the map, only just having spawned. Another hook goes wide from this Nautilus. EC Mookie clearing bot waves with teleport, matched by the Galio if any fight were to break out around the Baron. Only the mid tower broken by the Hexcores. They have that increased access to vision. You can see already a couple of deep wards on the Cougars' blue side, offering a lot of information, helping mark any potential flanks. Young getting a couple moments on this tower will take 2 plates of his own. You can see the Hexcores now starting to push a couple of their advantages after that wonderful team fighting. Using the gold lead to transition into plates, transition into vision control. Looks like those 2 jungle wards that Brat was able to get down will spot the Wukong headed towards the top side. Say that, and pivots. Instead running bot. Grass comes through from the Young ultimate, so we get another fight here on the top side. Both ultimates invested. We see the Young winning out but the grasp cannot come through before the dive, which means the Tahm Kench will live another day. These fights have turned so quickly, though, from being Tahm Kench favored to Mordekaiser favored, as Cougars move as a 4-man unit into this top river. Pings coming from both teams teleport in on the backside, turning once more on the Tahm Kench. Hook hits our Frat. Frat finds a 5-man Pop Blossom layered on top of with the ultimate. Spells are flying. Dying inside, living for longer than he should, doing so much damage. Mookie now the target, as they trade for the Nautilus. Wukong dives back in, but Young finds the grasp over the side to kill the Wukong. Mookie just goes into egg and will have the revive. Ping's coming out on the waves now. Can't go for the Baron without the Xayah. And another one-team fight for the Hexcores, a 4-for-2. Dying inside did so much work on the backside, just throwing down that damage while simultaneously living for much longer than the Cougars would have liked. Really just couldn't burst down that Xayah, the benefit of the ultimate. You can see now CS leads mounting in mid and jungle. Mordekaiser with a 600 gold bounty, Anivia with 550. A couple of those bounties, though, and this game is back to dead even from a 4k gold lead right now for the Hexcores, ballooning a little as top tier 1 is knocked down by Mordekaiser. This Anivia, though, is going to be so hard to kill with the Seeker's arm guard complete now. As soon as that egg comes back up, that passive revive, going to take such an investment, able to weather so much of that storm. Flicker Blades on Xayah, moving towards that IE, has all the components. Must be close, but here we have Drake up now. The Cougars were able to get that last one, which means that this is still only soul point Drake for the Hexcores. Gistastic charging up, goes in with the leap, with the counter strike. Fighting in this choke really difficult. Wukong on the backside, just obliterating the backline. Here comes the ultimate. Dying inside will go down. Wukong doing so much damage. Archie caught in a bad spot. Nico falls. And a wonderful team fight from the Cougars. They will secure the second Mountain Drake of the game. They lose none, but get 4 kills. They get the shutdown on the Mordekaiser, and this game is back to very close. They'll knock down the mid-tiered 1 tower as well. They'll secure the Drake. And EC Mookie's left to lick his wounds, goes back to base now. This game is back to a 1,000 gold lead for the Hexcores, so much just obliterated by that wonderful fight from the Cougars. Hexcores were able to find nothing on any side, on any angle of that fight. We could see there the Wukong coming in, the Galio coming in on top, just fighting in that choke where they have so much CC. Crucially, no IE yet on Xayah. Kaisa has 3 items and a Seeker's arm guard, while this Xayah is sitting on 2 items and IE components. Really need that 3rd item to start doing damage. Bit of fighting here on the top side. Counter strikes. Gistastic a little caught. Gets hooked. Going to go down. Ult comes out right at the end. Cougars as forward, advancing now into the jungle. Pings come down on the Baron. No jungler for the Hexcores. This is going to be very hard. No teleport on the Anivia either. 30 seconds left on that summoner. Looks like Hexcores are just going to concede this. Xayah looking for a reset. Cancels it. Maybe looking on the Nautilus. Stepping up. Doing such a good job zoning. Brat gets caught by the hook. Caught by the taunt. Sends out the Pop Blossom. But will go down to the Kaisa. Raining death with the Icathian Rain. Baron secured for the Camden County Cougars. What a back and forth first game this has been. We've seen big team fight win after big team fight win for both of these teams. But ultimately it favors the Cougars, who now a Baron can start sieging down these towers. Counter-Strike comes in. EC Young doing a lot of damage. Ults the Kaisa, stuck in the Death Realm. Uses the ultimate, fighting out, kiting as much as they can. But comes back to life to be met with a Counter-Strike. and will fall, knocking off one of those Barons, securing a major kill for the Hexcores, very needed. IE does come through for the Xayah. Anivia close to the Zhonya's, but still sitting on the Seekers. Oh, and Xayah steps up and just gets one shot by the Wukong on the mid wave. Really just had no support there. No one from the Hexcores backing up, dying inside means it's an easy pick for the Cougars. Still, all is quiet on the map. See how the Cougars can use this first Baron to try and knock down the last of these outer towers before advancing on the tier 2s. That mid tier 2 very low. Gold is dead even. Drakes are dead even. It's just the Baron advantage right now for the Cougars. Teleports up for all 4 of the solo laners. Means that any fight could devolve into a 5v5 at the drop of a dime. Right now you can see there's this one ward for the Cougars that's about to expire on the jungle, doing a lot of work denying this space. Mostly defensive vision from both teams right now though, just looking to maintain control of their space, of their side of the river. A little scared to walk in, given how much damage is in this game. They could just get one shot. Pratt gonna walk away from the poke from the Wukong. Nautilus walking in now, tons of pings coming out from the Hexcores, caught with the counter-strike, caught with the root, and so much damage coming from the Xayah. Flashes over the wall, but will go down. A solid pick for the Hexcores. Wall comes out, blocks the Galio, who lands the taunt, down 2 levels, also flashes. Jax comes in on top, no counter-strike yet. Stun and the pullback on the feathers, 2 straight picks for the Hexcores. It's going to be a minute on Galio, about that much time left on the Drake spawn. Tahm Kench sieging that top tier 1, Hexcores happy to let it go. Instead looking to get secure vision around this Drake. We see Mookie taking the reset now for the Drake spawn. Root comes down, EC's Giztastic looking for a fight. Counter-strike only lands onto the Wukong clone. Take a look at the items here as resets come through for the Hexcores. It is a completed Zhonya's for EC Mookie. It's 3 items on Jax plus the pickaxe. This Jax is very strong right now. But the Kai'Sa has 4 completed items, crucially, has completed that Zhonya's, sitting on 250 CS. This Xayah needs to be the target for the Hexcores. Wukong goes in, finds a 2-man ultimate, counter-strike, hits him out, dying inside, still alive on the backside. In comes the Galio ult, as both teams fight with the front line. No one's hitting the backline right now, though, for the Cougars. So much damage coming out, finds the kills. Kai'Sa still alive, 3v2. Wukong comes back in, Kai'Sa dives in, manages to find the kill on dying inside. All 3 people in Zhonya's. Mookie finds the kill on the Kai'Sa right before dropping in the egg. Brat can really not do anything to defend right now on such low HP. But Wukong stands still, uses the clone, dashes away. It looks like the fight might be over for now. These fights are just so close. But in that fight, the Xayah and the Anivia were able to stay alive in the backline for just a little longer. It took the Kai'Sa investing the killer instinct onto Xayah to pick up that kill. Drake spawning now as members of all teams respawn, make their way back out onto the map. We're going to have another brawl over this Drake. Would be the 3rd for the Cougars. Galio teleports into the pit. Same with Tahm Kench. They start up the objective. And Hexcores might just be too late. Mordekaiser's still near the fountain. Xayah just now rejoining the team. EC's Giztastic is in there. Hook lands onto Anivia. Great Pop Blossom. Will find 4 from Brat. Nautilus on the back line. Wukong on the back line. Takes out the Xayah. Wukong ticking down to the Anivia ult. Kai'Sa stuck in the Mordekaiser ult. Returns to life. Flash from EC the Young. I wonder if he has that W waiting for the shield. Kai'Sa will find EC Mookie. Uses the shield now for a bit of healing. Tahm Kench dives in. Gets rooted up. Oh, but the Seeker from Kaisa lands true on Mordekaiser. Another one landing onto Brat, who gets hit by the Tongue Lash and gets an ace for the Cougars. Just a couple dodges not going the Hexcores' way there. It's going to be third Drake for Camden County. That's 3 Mountain Drakes on them too. So many passive stats going over to their side. That armor and MR just makes their whole team so tanky. It's going to be very hard to kill the Tom Kench, the Galio, the Nautilus, even the Wukong. Just so much passively tankier. It is 4 items on Xayah now. Kaisa has the QSS for that Mordekaiser ult. Sights now set on this Baron. Small leads for the Cougars. A couple of big shutdowns, crucially on Wukong and on Kaisa, who's really managed to maintain, has been untouched in these fights. Mordekaiser the only one really sticking on the Kaisa. Skiztastic poking his head into the river now. Nautilus hovering around. No damage here for the Cougars, though, means the crab goes over to the Hexcores. That Seeker does so much damage, dying inside immediately chunked before he can enter the fight. Down to about half HP with no Vamp Scepter yet to heal that up. It's going to be 5 completed items for the Kaisa, the Mercurial Scimitar coming through. Can't ask for a much better first game, can you guys? This is such a close back and forth game between these two teams. Gold lead right now stands at 2k for the Cougars, setting their sights on this Baron as the teams fight. Wukong comes over, just lands onto Archie, who pops the Celestial Opposition support item. And the two teams stare at each other here a little bit. You see Mookie waiting, just needs a bit more gold for the completed Rabadons. I wonder if the Hexcores are trying to wait for that item to come through. Such a big damage increase for the Anivia. Vision cleared out by both teams, relatively dark around the pit. We go back to mid waves, so we go back to bot waves. Mordekaiser moves back to the top wave. Looks like after a brief standoff, the teams are content to go back to their sides. The shove seems permanently maintained by the Cougars, however. With those gold leads, it's just really hard for any of the Hexcores to step up. Instead, they have to sit back and catch the waves as they're pushed into them. There's the Rabadon's death cap for the Anivia, 302 CS. Almost full build, needs one more item. Again, we're going to see so much damage if that ult can stick on the ground, if they can fight in a choke point. Hexcores really need to find an angle here. So many kills this game, such a bloody game. Both teams start transitioning their vision here towards bot side. Hexcores clearing out the deep wards from the Nautilus. Walking up into the river now. A Seeker lands onto Dying Inside, who takes a third of his health bar. That's the power of a 4-5 item Kaisa. Remember, these ADCs can go up to 6 full completed items with the role quest now complete, so this Kaisa's not anywhere done scaling. It's really going to be up to the Hexcores to shut down the Kaisa in these team fights. Wukong lurking in a bush. Finds some poke onto the young. Dives in, so slippery with that clone. Again, both teams hovering around this objective spawn pit. Would be Soul for the Cougars. Hexcores, it's crucial that they defend this. There's the dragon spawn. Couple members lurking on the side. Wukong flashes away, hook goes wide. Brat takes a bit of poke. All 5 members working as a unit right now. Drake not started up by the Cougars. Now started up by the Kaisa. All members turn onto it. Hexcores have a couple angles here, but on vision, hook goes wide. Counter-strike flashed away from by the Kaisa. And the whole team engages on the Mordekaiser. A Pop Blossom finds 2 from Brat. Dying inside, putting down damage, letting the feathers fly. Hitting down, killing 1. Killing 2, now turning on to the Tahm Kench. Wukong still alive in the pit. Bit of a misflash. And there's the defensive Tahm Kench ult. Mookie goes into stasis. The only one left alive for the Hexcores. Drake goes to the Cougars. It's 4 Mountain Drake Soul for them, like I was talking about those passive stats. And Mookie will be caught on the way out. It will be an ace for the Cougars after that Soul. And they're now a little split, setting their sights on the mid-tier 3. And on the Baron simultaneously. I wonder if they can take this inhibitor tower and then fall back to the Baron. Still 20-30 seconds on the Hexcores respawn timers. This gold lead has ballooned to 6,000. Likely to be more if they can secure this Baron. Second Baron of the game. 40 minutes in. And we had the question about scaling here, but it just looks like the Hexcores have no damage in the face of these tanks. Heartsteel on Tahm Kench at 457 stats. So much HP to chew through with the resistances of these Drakes so hard. You can see the adaptations. Anivia picks up the Blightling Jewel. Turn the siege now. You can see that's the Petrosite crystals that have built up. Allow the Galio to one-shot that tower. Collapse on here. Maybe by Skiztastic. Taunts comes through. Counter-strike doesn't land the stun. Galio walks away. A lot of what the Hexcores, they've been fishing really hard, but the Cougars haven't given over any of these major picks. Nothing game-breaking yet to allow the Hexcores back in this game. Really suffocatingly played from the Cougars. They start now taking away easy Skiztastic scamps. So we cross the 41-minute mark in this game. The wave clear is strong. Wall comes out, interrupts the Galio dash, rooted up. There's the root from the Anivia damage still ticking, goes into stasis on 1 HP, likely gonna die, goes down. Fight breaking out in the top side too. Young walking away. Wukong ult invested. Hook comes through. Counter-strike from Skiztastic. Mordekaiser ultimate keeps him alive for a brief second longer. Almost dying under tower. Dives back in. Pop Blossom on the backside finds 3, but there's no damage for the Hexcores yet. Here comes Mookie. Lands the stun. Lands the ultimate. But dying inside, fighting the Kaisa on the bot side, gets him to half HP, but does go down. Kaisa's gonna break this inhibitor tower. Wukong dives back in. Ultimately goes down to an Anivia E. Tahm Kench the next target, but Kaisa's looking to end the game right now. Kaisa does so much damage to those towers. A massive shield from Tahm Kench. Skiztastic fighting back. Both towers down now. Look at the Nexus. It lives on 1 HP. Has to do the wave clear job now, does Mookie. Anivia, thankfully, a champion well inclined to clear such a massive wave. TP from the Galio. The Nexus is on 1 HP. Here comes the Galio. Uses the dash, trying to find an angle. Gets rooted, gets stunned. The wall goes up. Do they have the damage to kill him, though? Counter-Strike interrupts the heroic dash. Here comes the damage. Galio goes down. 15 seconds on Wukong. Nautilus, the next one, to come and try their hand at breaking this Nexus. As Hexcores have to turtle a bit while their towers respawn, while their inhibitors respawn, this base torn to shreds by the Kaisa, even though the fight on the top side goes their way. No wards for the Cougars, no more TPs to invest as long as the Hexcores can keep these waves shoved out. This gold lead means much less right now than it does. We're just waiting on the Guardian Angel to come through for the Xayah. But Anivia full build, Jax almost full build, Mordekaiser almost full build. The gold matters less when all the item completions start coming through. There's only so many items you can buy in this game. It's really still just that lead on Kaisa while we wait for the last Xayah item to come through. The Guardian Angel's so important in keeping these fights going a little longer after that initial burst from the Cougars. It's going to come down to an Elder Dragon fight. Likely for the game. 6 dragons, 2 barons. It seems only fitting for this game to end on an Elder Drake. Mookie flashes, finds the wall, Counter-Strike goes wide on the Tahm Kench, gets grabbed by the Mordekaiser, Galio ult over the top, Wukong ult lands onto the Xayah, flashed away, Nautilus ult also invested, Xayah goes down, it's up to Mookie to be the last line of damage here, but Kaisa dives in, goes into stasis, gets knocked into eggs, Tastic goes down, Kaisa is just shredding through this team, Young on the backline, not able to do enough here. Kills the Nautilus, but is it enough? 4 men marching towards the Nexus from the Cougars. Flashes, pausing to take the inhibitor. But those towers not respawned just yet. It's going to be game 1 for the Camden County Cougars. After a wonderful back and forth game. What a way to start the season for the Hexcores. Such an incredible game, back and forth the whole way. And that, folks, is only game 1. We'll be booting up game 2 here soon, likely after a short break. After a 44-minute banger, the Cougars walk away with game 1 of this series. That Kaisa so influential, so much damage in those late game team fights. Just absolutely shredding through. You can see here on the damage chart, almost 60,000 damage. Highest in the game. Supported by those tanks. Players starting to rejoin the lobby. Take a breather here after that roller coaster of emotions. My water supply is dwindling. But despite that, still hoping Hexcores can bring this back to a game 3 scenario. I don't know if my heart can take another 44-minute game. Wow. Really strong showing from both of these teams. Hexcores showing they can put up a fight in this higher division. Had the lead there for a while, but one big team fight win for the Cougars swung the gold back, and from there they were able to play a suffocating game, keeping control of the division, keeping control of almost everything. You can see the ranks here on this loading screen. Those are the peak ranks for both teams. Think over flex queue or solo queue. One Emerson Esports overall update. It looks like the EC Rivals team, the Ravagers, lost their first match of the season 0-3 to HU Marvel Rivals. One loss today for Emerson College. See. Alright, never mind. Lost my train of thought as we're here to start draft for game 2. Getting right into things. Emerson College electing to have blue side this game. Means they get the first pick. Tristana Band, Braum Band staying the same for both teams. A reminder, this is Fearless Draft, which means that all the champions in the last game are automatic bans. So we will not be seeing any of that. A lot of those dive champions taken away by the Fearless format. We're going to have to see both teams adapt. Kha'Zix ban stays the same for Hexcores. The Talia ban once more, taking away that global. I wonder if either of these teams are going to prioritize Rise, the last of those big global ultimates left in the mid lane, with Galio banned from Fearless. See how that shifts. I don't know if Mookie plays Rise. I know he's played it a couple of times, but we'll see if it's the level of comfort that he wants to bring out to this crucial game 2. If Camden secures a win here, they will take the match. Hexcores, stakes are higher. Win here forces a game 3. Bit of adaptation here from Camden. Banning the Malphite, it looks like. Early on in the draft, that one dropped to 4-5 for the Hexcores in the last draft, I believe. Yes, it was the 5th and final ban in game 1. Taken away here. Wonder if they're worried about the potential first pick of the Malphite. See what the Hexcores choose here. Yunara slips through if they like that ADC pick for Dying Inside. Instead, it's going to be the Diana. Technically a flex pick. Could go towards Skiztastic or Mookie. Really strong at the start of the season, but did receive a couple of nerfs, as a lot of AP junglers did. The new Dawn and Dusk item, very strong on the likes of Diana and Volibear. Be matched with the Jarvan for Camden. Another one of those really strong engage bruiser jungle options, much like the Wukong in the last game. Wonder what sort of ADCs we'll see dying inside play. You look at the pool here. You need some sort of dash to stay safe from the Jarvan. So it could be Ezreal, could be Corki, but can't play many immobile ADCs like the Jinx that's so strong right now, right? Like the Ashe. Could be the Yunara still, a possibility. Orianna for Camden. Very strong team fight. Again, that Ori-Jarvan combo. Put the ball on Jarvan and ult as the Jarvan dashes in with the flag and drag. Moki gets the counter pick in mid, however. It's going to be Sivir. I guess the Hexcores say we'll take the immobile ADC into the Jarvan. Sivir, very strong wave clear, very strong AoE damage in the team fights with those boomerang bounces. See if they want to match the mid pick here on their third pick. Galio taken away. It'll be the Veigar. Interesting. 2 immobile carries into the Jarvan. That Cataclysm going to have so much value if it can land onto the Sivir, onto the Veigar. They have plenty of damage, plenty of scaling right now. But the scaling aspect matched by the Jinx here. Obviously a hyper-scaling ADC, much like the Sivir. Jinx very strong in the metagame right now. Crit ADCs, all of them, got large buffs at the start of the season when the crit base damage was increased back to 200%. Felios, so strong, needed a hotfix nerf at the start of the season. Set ban again from Camden County. We see a bit of adaptation here. Melio banned by the Hexcores, their first new ban of the series. Switching it up a little, trying to deny enchanters from this Jinx. Wonder if Lulu's crossing their mind right now for the Cougars. Or if they need more engage on top of this Jarvan. Alistar will be banned. Potentially signaling an engaged champion. Alistar very good with the headbutt, knocking them out of range. And Warwick, the final ban, still very worried about that top lane Warwick. We know it's not the flex with the Jarvan anymore, like it was with the Wukong last game. Switch it over to Cho'Gath. Interesting. Last couple picks here. Wonder if Hexcores worry about the Cho'Gath more than the Warwick just denying the front line right now. Cho'Gath with that large of a health pool, it'd be very hard for the Jinx to die with Cho'Gath peeling for her. Thresh, going to be the hook champion that we mentioned with the Alistar ban, paired with the Jinx. Bit of engage, bit of pick potential, but less of that hyperscaling that an enchanter would bring. I guess Camden County believes the Jinx to be enough. Orianna also very high damage champion in the late game. Matched by the Blitzcrank from the Hexcores, we have a battle of the hook champions in the bot lane. Start a little counter between Thresh and Blitzcrank and see who lands more of their hooks. Very interesting draft here from the Hexcores. I'm a little worried. Need some sort of front line here from the young. It'll be the Renekton. Strong comfort pick for the young. Played it extensively in the last couple seasons with the Hexcores. Very solid. Racks up all the solo kills. Very safe blind pick here too, crucially, as the Cougars are saving their top lane counter pick for last. Renekton pretty hard to punish. This is the Warwick that Hexcores were so worried about in both of these games. We'll see what damage can be done. Top lane looking to be bloody as a battle of these bruisers. Warwick loves fighting. Renekton loves trading. It will be explosive in that top lane early game. The rest of the Hexcores relatively happy to sit and scale. Sivir loves just sitting on gold, sitting back, clearing mid waves. Vhagar stacks up his passive with abilities hit, gaining AP. Really is just a scaling game between both of these teams. Warwick, the strong early game point for the Cougars. The Warwick and the Jarvan, see what work they can get done. Thresh moving with the jungle could be dangerous. Gotta look out for catches. Same is true for the Hexcores. Blitzcrank has so much CC to set up for the Diana. Any lane that those two gank together and land that first bit of CC could very easily turn into a kill for the Hexcores. It's interesting seeing Mookie on this Vhagar. Not the pick I usually associate with Mookie. So known for that Akali, those flashier champions. Plays a lot of Talia, a lot of Orianna, a bit of Galio. But it'll be very exciting to see him on this new look. On the Yordle. We just remake the draft here in the client. Hexcore is taking their time with the picks here. I wonder if there's any talk in the team chat right now about how they want to play out this game. Like I was mentioning, stakes very high. Need a win here to keep the series alive. First series of the season. Looking to really set the tone here for just what this team can hope to accomplish here this season in this higher division.
Never pick a fight.
And this team, no matter the ranks of the opponents, really does set their beliefs in themselves very high, sets their expectations high. After falling short the last couple of seasons in the playoffs, Hexcores really are rooting for themselves.
What's wrong? Can't take the heat.
Full of confidence, practicing hard. See if it can pay off. See if that work can pay off here in game 2. The draft has been remade. We now will wait out our spectator delay, wait out the minute-long gap that we get in draft. We can talk a bit about lane matchups. Once again, Warwick into Renekton. As I was saying a little bit earlier in the first draft phase, this matchup is going to be explosive. Warwick loves the long fights where on low HP he can heal up with the passive, but Renekton is equally happy to go in for those short burst combo trades, especially post 6 with the Dominus. That top lane is going to be where all of the attention is at this early game. Diana into Jarvan. Diana more reliant on the full clear. Needs the level 6 to have any amount of CC with the Falling Moon, whatever the ultimate is called. Jarvan can at least go in with the flag and drag. I wonder if we'll see an extra early gank here from the Jarvan like we did in game 1, the level 2 gank on top lane. The Mordekaiser Tom Kench matchup was so explosive. I'm excited to see what these two players will get up to on more explosive champions. Again, expecting a bloodbath in the top lane. Mid lane, Orianna likely to win early. Has so much poke with the commands. Where Veigar needs to scale, utilize that passive, garner the AP. And then Sivir, Blitzcrank, Jinx, Thresh. Really reliant on landing those hooks from either support. Jinx has a bit of poke with the rockets. Sivir equally able to trade back with the bouncing boomerangs with the Q. As for team fights, I think I have to favor the Cougars here, just compositionally. They have a pretty standard front-to-back comp with the Orianna, the Jinx, Jarvan looking to jump in on the immobile carries. Again, going to stress that. Veigar, Sivir, their flashes get burnt, and this Jarvan is able to jump on them with the Cataclysm very easily. Whereas the Hexcores have drafted themselves into a bit of a corner here. They need to find creative flanks with the Renekton and the Diana, and it's really then just left up to the Blitzcrank to tank all of the aggression of the Jinx, of the Orianna, of the Warwick, and try and peel for the Veigar, Sivir. These strong carries, sure, but they don't have many tools to protect themselves. One minute left here on our delay. All that said, I do think the MVP of last game for the Hexcores had to be Brat on the Nico. So many huge pop blossoms landing, the roots constantly flying, constantly finding picks, setting up for the damage to come through from the carries. We'll see if they can have that same impact on the Blitzcrank. Still a very pick-reliant champion, but if their skill shot prowess is any indication from that Nico game, we should see hopefully a couple hooks. I'm obviously a little biased here. Hoping for a game 3, hoping for another banger game, even if it takes 45 minutes. I've got nowhere to be tonight. I want to see these two teams go at it once again. As we jump into game, back to the loading screen. Here we go. Game 2 of the Emerson Hexcores versus the Camden County Cougars. Game point for the Cougars. Hexcores with their backs against a bit of a wall. Looking at summoner spells, you can see the Warwick taking the barrier in this matchup. The barrier is a common pick on Warwick top lane because the passive gives more self-healing while you're on low HP. And so the barrier allows you to last longer on low HP, to get more autos off, get more healing up, well, of course, tanking the damage with the barrier itself. Exhaust taken by both supports, kind of acknowledging how bursty this game looks, is shaping up to be with the Veigar. That ultimate can do so much damage in the late game. Ward down in the bush. Cougars walking up a little blind to this bot wave. Blitzcrank lingering, hanging around, fishing for a hook. There is one hook from the Thresh. Guardian expended. Push for the Orion in the mid lane, but a bit of poke landing. Solid trades from both players. Both junglers starting topside. Oh, Brat tanks a tower shot. Warwick already taken to half HP. Auto cancelled by the Young. Unfortunate. This Warwick thrives on low HP, though. That passive, again, giving more healing the lower HP the champion is. Brat healing up after the tower shot, gets hit by the Thresh hook. Misses a hook of their own. Thresh winning the hook battle so far. Dying inside, stepping up, getting hit by the traps. Flay comes out. Hexcores kiting backwards. Camden County happy to chase. Low health bars all around on the bot side. Both junglers sprinting there. The Jarvan is much quicker on the clear, however. A full camp ahead. Diana just now starting the Raptors. Hook lands on to Sivir. Exhausts come down from both players. Barriers come out from both players. Jinx very low. Flashes away, but secures the kill. Jarvan sprinting it to the bot side. Brat flashes. Uses the W. Will get slowed. Jarvan here to clean it up. Sidesteps the flag and drag, gets hit by the hook, and it's a double kill on the bot side for the Cougars. You see the Young winning out on these trades. A lot of mana expended by the Warwick, by Sally. Sivir did save the flash in that bot play, so we'll have some silver lining for the Hexcores. That flash still up. But it's an early 1,000 gold lead. This Diana very slow on the clear, just now doing the Krugs, while Jarvan still has Gromp, but is securing the Scuttle first. Ignite comes out. Young gets a flash, gets the barrier, goes in with the dash, the second slice and dice. Warwick backs away with 1 HP, 2 sums exchanged. Strong showing from the Young on, again, this comfort pick Renekton. One hit goes wide over the wall. Sivir Blitzcrank now in a really tough spot in this bot lane. Take a look at items. Scout Sling for the Jinx. Another hook goes wide from Brat. And just a longsword for the Sivir. Really going to have to do work here. As Jarvan looks again here on the bot lane. Hook hits the Blitzcrank. Flag and drag goes through. Brat staying alive for longer. Sidesteps. Bit of damage. Requires the flash from the Thresh, but will eventually get the kill. 2 kills quick on Jarvan. This Jarvan likely to spiral out of control. 2 kills to his name. Diana will at least get the Krug respawn. Bit of an invade. Has not base yet, while Jarvan's sprinting at Skiztastic with a Tunneler. Taking the reset now, but I wonder if it'll go off before the Jarvan realizes. Sneaky, sneaky. Skiztastic will see the Jarvan passing, ping the Young off. Slice and dice away from the Renekton, dodges the fear, dodges the threat of the Jarvan gank. It's a small win for Skiztastic. But again, it's still 2 kills on the Jarvan. You can see the component difference here in the jungle already. This Jarvan is a big threat. CS leads mounting in the bot lane as well, using the threat of that kill and 2 assists. While mid lane is relatively even, is a strong sign for this Vhagar. Just buying time to scale up that passive. We'll keep an eye on the stacks as we go. Wave pushing back into Hexcores on the bot side, using this to get their Drake reset. But the Cougars already out on the map. Diana nowhere near. Jarvan has all the space, looking to get the wards. Walking in aggressively. There's the cage from Mookie. A little split here. Hook lands from both players. Shockwave used onto Brat. Mookie with the ultimate secures a kill on the Jarvan. A strong fight from the Hexcores. As Jinx was not yet out on the map, had taken a reset. Sivir pushing out the waves. Brief tempo gap exploited by the Hexcores. As they now move towards down the bot lane, clearing out vision. Jarvan's back already. Those respawn timers so low in the early game. Hexcores don't have the time they need to do Drake, so it's ultimately just a kill. And now we're in a similar position. Thresh threatening on the bot side, off to the side. Is dying inside, desperate to just clear out this cannon wave. Trades coming out from Mookie. No ults on either mid laner. More fighting in the top side. Ult invested from both top laners. Ignite down. Ooh, and a strong Q gets a solo kill for the Young in the top lane. I'm surprised it took this long for us to get a kill. Sorry about that. Goal even back up by the Hexcores. We are dead even here in this game. Drake not taken by either team. Gonna be checked on by the Thresh. Resets from jungles, from top lane, everyone on the map from Hexcores resetting right now. Strong coordination as they move out towards the Drake. Brat sprinting down the mid lane, looking maybe to make a play with the Veigar. Flashes over. Catches the flash. Gets the hook. Shockwave invested onto the Veigar. No mana for the Orianna. Exhaust comes down. Ultimate from Mookie secures the kill. Second kill for this Veigar. A very strong play from Brat. Secures a kill for the Hexcores. Diana now moving up for a bit of an invade on the top side. Looking now, things coming down towards the Grubs. Warwick trading on the top side. Conqueror stacked up for the Young. Lethal Tempo stacked for Warwick. Barrier comes out and it's a solo kill for the Warwick. I mentioned this top lane matchup would be explosive and it is not disappointing. In that time though, Grubs go over to the Hexcores. Cougars starting up the first Drake of the game. As Veigar and Diana set their sights on this Warwick, potentially overstaying, looking to get this shove in. Uses the flash, but flashes into the cage. Ults invested from Diana. Warwick still living. TP to the top side from Orianna. This Warwick healing so much. Oh, it's going to be a double kill for the Warwick. Well played from the Cougars. Hexcores just did not have enough damage. Did not have the Veigar ultimate that they needed to secure the kill. And the Warwick in those extended fights just has so much healing, so much damage. I don't know what that hook hit. But damage coming down onto dying inside. Rockets, flashes from both. Barrier invested. Steps into the tower, gets hooked. Knocked up in tower range, will die, does the Jinx. And now we get a bit of supportal combat. Shut down. Oh, Blitzcrank E goes into the minion. I don't think anything else is going to happen here. Jarvan coming down now. Hook lands. Cataclysm invested. Hook goes wide. Bit of damage, but no ultimate for Brat. Means no kill. Thresh survives on 1 HP. This is back to a 2k gold lead for the Cougars. After that disastrous bot play from the Hexcores gave 3 kills to the Warwick. Has a completed Blade of the Ruined King already 10 minutes into the game. This Warwick is a massive threat. Another cage comes down from Mookie. More poke landing onto the Orianna. No flash means that's an easy kill for Skiztastic. Well played from the Hexcores, playing around their strong lanes. Despite the kills, the Renekton is still up a level right now, about to take over to 9 for the Warwick. These trades so hard to play out for the Renekton. Has the Grievous wounds, but the Blade of the Ruined King does so much damage. It's going to be the Rod of Ages for Veigar, clearing out this midwave. Game resets to neutral. Oh, a trade of hooks, but one lands onto the support while the other lands on the Jinx. Play goes wide. Ult comes out. Heavy trades into the Jinx. Dying inside, stepping forward aggressively. Needs one more. There comes the Q to pick up the kill. Thresh now the target. Exhaust flash from the Thresh keeps him alive for 1 second as Orianna comes on the roam. Brat walking up. Has the Shockwave available. But Brat able to just fly away. Hooked under tower. Still has a shockwave. Spell shielded by dying inside. And it's a very nice kill for dying inside. Manages to live on 1 HP. Couple kills for the Hexcores. That ult beautifully spell shielded. Mookie getting time on this mid tower. Secures some plates. You can see now how hard this lane is with the Blade of the Ruin King. The extra healing, the extra damage coming through for the Warwick. Jarvan looking to make a play on Veigar. Greeting for an extra plate. Able to just waddle away. Throws out a Q. Throws out a cage to deny some of the CS. Another back and forth game here early. You see the Young going to need some help from the Diana. I don't even know if it's doable if they win the 1v2. That Q healing so much for the Warwick, doing so much damage. Young getting lower and lower. Forced to take the teleport, but just got the top lane quest completed for the TP. Going to instead cancel the back. As Hexcores look for a play here. Hook goes wide. Misread the sidestep. Thresh re-enters. Fight over the Gromp goes towards Skiztastic. Ping's now coming down onto the Orianna. Flash has just come back up. Hexcores move as 3 towards the mid lane. Looking to be traded by the Cougars on the bot side. Flash for flash traded by support in mid. That flash now down for the Orianna. Very important for the Hexcores. A good trade of summoners from the Hexcores from Brat. Hook. Oh, barely dodged away from. Could have been lethal. Jarvan waiting in the wings. Warwick out of base now. First item still not completed for the Young. Had to take that detour for the Grievous Wounds. First item not complete for either of the ADCs either. Large CS lead already in the bot lane for the Jinx. Playing off that pressure well. The Thresh offers so much. Here come the resets. That's the Yuntal Wild Arrows for the Jinx. We'll see if Sivir can match with first item. Looks like staying one more wave. Took a detour for tier 2 boots already. Gonna be late on that first item. Looks like maybe a Trinity Force with the Sheen buy. Bit strange, but we'll see what eventually comes through. Rod of Ages stacking up for Veigar in the mid lane, and that's the Dusk and Dawn bot for the Diana. Second Drake up now. You can see aggressive vision from the Hexcores. That Diana Blitzcrank duo working to steal away a blue buff. As Jarvan makes his way back into the bot side river, pings coming down from the Hexcores. They have position. The fight breaks out in the top side. All in, ults invested. And a trade in the bot side. Ults flying. There's the crash down, the moonfall. Thresh clawed out now. Diana dashing forward. And the Sivir just throwing down these boomerangs. Another kill for Skiztastic. But on the top side, Warwick won the 1v1. Got a solo kill on the Young. Going to be a big threat as Hexcores look to secure their first Drake of the game. So overall, big wins for the Hexcores on the bot and mid, but that top lane matchup is quickly spiraling for the Hexcores. The Young under so much constant pressure from the Warwick, who now has Boots and Tiamat, making this even harder. Still no Eclipse finish for the Renekton. It all amounts to about a 500 gold lead. Pretty even, but again, that Warwick so accelerated. Still no first item completed for the Sivir. Needs to take a reset. There's no help really coming for the Young on the top side. Just has to catch the waves, try and hold a freeze, get what CS he can. That Tiamat's so much passive wave clear. These short trades are what the Young needs really right now. Play around the strength of the Fury, stack it up, get what damage, but the Warwick goes into jungle, heals it up. Laying a bit of a trap. Pings from the Hexcores, however. A good cage from Mookie. Manages to blow up the Warwick before the healing comes down, and a double kill for Skiztastic right around this Herald, turning the trap around on the Cougars, who were kind of waiting in that bush off of vision. No jungle, no top laner, means this should be a free Herald for the Hexcores. Renekton gets to equalize a bit of the gold in the top lane, hit those plates, get a bit of gold for himself. It was the Essence Reaver first for Sivir, not Trinity Force. That's my bad. I thought it would be a bit strange, but this makes much more sense. Looking to cancel the back now. Does get it off with a nice boomerang blade. Hook sidestepped nicely by the Orianna. So all of our players looking to take their resets now. Bot laners hovering. Warwick just TPs back to the top lane. That's the Eclipse finished for the Renekton. Makes this lane a bit easier to play. The shield makes it much easier to take the short trades. A big breakpoint for the Renekton. Meanwhile, this Veigar is still scaling. You can see those Qs starting to hurt. Young, maybe a little caught unawares here. Manages to slice and dice away. Fury not built up. Another hook sidestepped. Blitzcrank. Hooks going left and right now for the Hexcores. Need a couple more of these to land. It's the main form of their engage. Here we come. There's the big one. Right into the cage from Mookie. Able to secure the kill before the Orianna could even flash. So they saved that summoner spell, but it is a kill. Another kill for the Veigar. Quickly becoming very strong. Sivir gets a moment on the bot tower. Jarvan hovering in the mid lane. Rift Herald invested. Will knock down the mid tier 1 as Thresh is caught by the Veigar cage. Knocked up by the Herald too. So much damage. Will die. A second Blitzcrank hook. Finishes the job on the Thresh. Nicely done from Brat there in that mid lane skirmish. Lands all the important abilities. A nice cage from Mookie would seal the kill. Jarvan, unfortunately, left with not much to do. With his main threats dead already. Jinx the next target. Good knockup and silence from Brat. Barrier invested. Jarvan, both ADCs flash. And Jinx is now excited, gets to run away, kill the Blitzcrank, kited beautifully, lives on 1 HP. Hexcores just not playing with their vision well. Now a skirmish in the top side. Both top laners taken very low, both ultimates invested. Skiztastic moving in now to clear out vision. A good fight bot lane from the Cougars. Nets them 2 kills. Feels like the Hexcores really have to fight around the Diana Veigar right now if they want to get anything done in this game. Those being their really strong points right now. Renekton holding on in the top lane, able to hold his own a bit better with the Eclipse. Working now towards the second item. But this Jinx is down a BF, or up a BF sword on the Sivir. A lot of damage early on for the Cougars. Those are the quick trades Young needs to be taking here on the top side. Whittle down the Warwick. All eyes on this Drake for both teams now. Hexcores have position. Cougars sitting on a ward in the tri-bush. Brat fishing with hooks. They'll clear out the ward now. Little split. Orianna on the top side. Q from Skiztastic goes wide. Warwick is down here. It is a 5v4 currently for the Cougars in their favor. Young gonna focus the top tower. We're in a tower race here. Jinx wins it, gets the first tower, a couple bonus gold there. The Drake has been started up by the Cougars. Have the position, have the numbers. Hexcores likely to concede. Find some good poke on the Thresh. Lands a hook onto the Orianna, but it's still a 5v4. They blow up the Orianna. Great Diana ult, does a lot of damage. Managed to pick up a couple of kills. Kills the Jarvan on the backside. And Brat will go down, so it's a 3 for 4. Cougars get the Drake. It's traded for the Young, having solo time on this top tier 2. Clears out the top tier 1. Overall winning for the Cougars. Gold back to dead even. But Young might be able to knock down this whole tower. But likely traded. I mean, Warwick hitting mid tier 1, Jinx hitting bot tier 2. This trade of Chower is really going in the favor of the Cougars just because they have more members, more men to hit the objectives. All the pings coming out as the 4 Hexcores strong. Flash forward from Skiztastic, dashes over the Chompers before they could go. Secures a nice kill on the Jinx. Just ran it down with the new home guard. Gold is dead even. Slight 200 gold lead for the Cougars despite the 2-kill deficit. Great hook over the wall. Finds the Thresh. Caught out looking for wards. Nice pick for the Hexcores. Sivir separated as pings come down onto the Baron. It's going to be started up by the Hexcores. An early Baron here. The Cougars know, sweeping out the wards. Throwing poke over the wall. Jarvan just needs to get into the pit here. Hook goes wide, Brat taken low, Young down to about half HP. Jinx Rocket comes over the top and into the Jarvan, but again, Skiztastic wins the smite fight, and Jarvan is exploded immediately by the Hexcores. But Warwick on the side lane gets the bot tier 2. But it is a Baron for the Hexcores. We'll see where they set their tight sights. Already pinging the bot tier 1, the easiest tower for them to access and siege down. This Jinx is the target for all of the Hexcores damage. 3.5 items right now. Sivir down at least a couple of thousand gold. Top lane has equalized. It's really the mid jungle for the Hexcores that are their strong points right now. Have to leverage that. Have to leverage the Veigar zoning with the cage. The Diana burst has to land on the Jinx in any of these team fights. We'll see how the Hexcores can use this Baron. Try and push their gold lead at 1.5k right now. Young getting aggressive on the Orianna. There comes the stun. A lot of damage. Hook lands onto the Warwick. Diana dashes in, uses the ult. There's the Veigar ultimate. Ult's flying everywhere. Dying inside, stuck in the cage with the Jarvan. Ultimately trades, but Jinx has a triple and is excited. It's a 3 for 2 in favor of the Cougars. The Young pushes out the Orianna. This Jinx, so much damage. Just got another 3 kills. Hexcores just invested all of their utility onto the Warwick, and they were able to pick up the kill, but the Jinx was surviving on the backline that whole time, and then was able to rain down damage, shredding this mid-tier 2 now. That Gatling gun stacked up. Moki will use the Baron to knock down the bot tier 1. Last member with the Baron, I believe, for the Hexcores. Gold equalized yet again. Another back and forth, very close game between these two teams. What a series we've been treated to. I'm hoping for a game 3. A, because I'm biased a little bit towards Hexcores. And B, because I want to see these teams go at it again. This game's so riveting. Looks like it's not going to be much else on this Baron for the Hexcores, though. Just that bot tower. Lost a lot of members in the fight around that blue buff. So we check in on items. It's 4.5 for Jinx now. Well, Sivir's still on 2 in components. It's going to be very hard to fight this. This Jinx now at 100% crit with those 4 core items, i.e. LVR, Yuntal, and the Runons. But the Hexcores are the ones with position over this Drake. Lurking in the bush now. Need to find a big Blitzcrank hook here. Walking towards the Thresh, flashed away. Hook lands, back into the stun. That's one catch, but they've given up position. Cougars now sitting in a stack on the bush. Skiztastic lurking on the flank. Jarvan comes in over the wall. Cage misses. The Jinx is untouched. Orianna gets caught by the... Skiztastic goes over the wall on the Jinx, blown up by the rockets, dying inside, being run down by the Warwick. Moki zoned on the opposite side of the fight. It's another team fight win. 3 for 2 for the Cougars, and it looks like they'll get the Drake on the backside. And Skiztastic was the only one really able to reach the Jinx there, and it was after the fight was largely already over. Brackets a hook over the wall, but it's not enough. Jinx just fires a couple of rockets, knocks him down. This Jinx really opening up, running these team fights. It's starting to feel like there has to be a Blitzcrank hook landing onto the Jinx for the Hexcores. If they want a chance at a team fight, that has to be their target. Same is true now as it was ever. Skiztastic again found the angle, found the ultimate, but just took too much damage, didn't have the backup, went down before the damage could pop. Jinx lived full HP and was able to just run over the end of that fight. We're at now a 2k lead for the Cougars. There's the third item from Sivir. Another source of anti-heal picked up for the Warwick. Jinx with a 700 gold shutdown. Warwick with 500. Gotta try and collect those if you're the Hexcores. We go back to a calmer game state, dying inside, trying to clear out these mid waves and get what gold he can. Jungle camps being funneled to the Jinx here for the Cougars. Just giving everything, putting all of their hopes in the hands of this carry. Again, one hook though could be game changing. The Jinx's flash is down, just the barrier summoner spell up and available. Skiztastic lurking on the flank. Has an angle, don't know if he's on vision. Looking to take a reset. Jarvan jumps on dying inside, gets an easy kill with the Jinx rocket. Mookie bursted down by the Jinx. As here comes the full-on dives. Skiztastic on the backside, but it's too late. This 5-man ultimate doesn't even get the chance to crash down fully. No damage done. Just the pullback. And it's a clean ace for the Cougars, who are now marching down this mid lane. It looks like they can end. All 5 members, Jinx now excited. The death timers are too long. The Jinx is too strong. And it will be a Hexcores devastating first loss in what were 2 very close back and forth games. Until one team got an advantage, pushed it. The Cougars will win their first game of the season. Hexcores fall 0-2. Here you can see briefly the damage charts again, like we were talking about, that Jinx just running up the charts, doing so much work in the team fights. I'd like to thank you all for watching. This was a wonderful first series of the semester. We'll be back again next week, next Monday, and the Mondays thereafter. Thank you for supporting the Hexcores, and we hope to see you then. Good night, everyone.